Here, Mack was with the alleged cult leader when he was arrested in Mexico. Today, she was taken into custody in New York and barely said a word as the charges were read against her.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Allison Mack found fame on Smallville as a teen with a crush on young Superman. Today, she was in court accused of sex trafficking. Prosecutors say she was helping alleged cult leader Keith Raniere recruit women who would eventually become his sex slaves. Mack barely said a word as the judge read the charges. Tonight, we spoke with the former longtime girlfriend of Raniere, who was accused of leading the cult called NXIVM.
I'm confident that on some level, that Keith and Nancy in the inner circle convinced Allison that these kinds of exercises and processes were going to elevate these women to a higher level of awareness and strength. And I'm willing to bet that Allison kind of bought into that concept. And Allison probably doesn't think right at this moment that anything that she did was possibly abusive.
Prosecutors say under the guise of a women's self-help and empowerment group, the Albany-based organization that calls itself NXIVM was seducing women to abandon their old lives and come join the cult. Some women were even branded with Raniere's initials after joining. Mack, a business partner and so-called slave master, was said to be second in command.
It's very upsetting and nauseating to me.
Stanley Zareff says his dear friend's daughter is one of the victims who got sucked into the clutches of this secret society. That friend, actress Catherine Oxenberg, both Oxenberg and Raniere's ex-girlfriend, spoke outside court last week after the 57-year-old Raniere was arraigned.
This is a very personal fight for me. He is where he deserves to be, behind bars, for the rest of his life.
And I think that this is just the beginning of what needs to happen to stop this reign of terror that Keith Raniere and NXIVM has.
And prosecutors are calling the group a cult and a pyramid scheme and are asking for any other potential victims to come forward. I'm Tom Waite, live in the newsroom. Back to you in the studio.